Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm the host of this lecture, and the topic of this lecture is Introduction of ISPRS Student Consortium. And now I will have a brief introduce for the Cheryl. Yeah, Cheryl received a master degree in remote sensing and a bachelor degree in geodetic engineering from the University of the Philippines, Diliman in 2013 and 2008, respectively. She is currently pursuing a doctorate degree in sustainability science at the United Nations University Institute for the Advanced Study of Sustainability in Tokyo, Japan. His research interests include the demand and supply of ecosystem service, land cover change modeling, GIS, and remote sensing. She is also an assistant research scientist in the Geomatics for Environment and Development Laboratory of the Manila Observatory in the Philippines. Yeah, thank you. And it's your time, Cheryl.
Thank you very much for the introduction. So can I share my screen? So I hope everyone can see the presentation.
yes, we can.
Okay, so thank you very much again for the Beijing University of Civil Engineering and Architecture for organizing this virtual summer school. And thank you everyone for also joining. So today I will be giving you an introduction about the ISPRS and the ISPRS Student Consortium. So again, I'm Cheryl. I am currently the president of the ISPRS Student Consortium. So let me start by sharing with you the relevance of information from imagery. So from the imagery that we collect, we are able to address sustainable development, do disaster mapping and monitoring, conduct environmental monitoring, and also investigate autonomous driving and navigation. So we collect a lot of information from imagery, and from this information, we are able to do research and to pursue different scientific interests. So the International Society for Photogrammetry and Remote Sensing is pursuing science development, cooperation among relevant stakeholders, and global cooperation is one of the biggest international organizations in remote sensing and in photogrammetry and spatial information science. So ISPRS believes that information from imagery is the digitization of our planet in real time. The mission of ISPRS is to advance the photogrammetry, remote sensing, and spatial information sciences through international cooperation in research, development, and education for the benefit of society and for environmental sustainability. And its vision is to be the foremost scientific society in its field and for the society at large, to speak for all people working in the field and to provide the necessary resources to develop the field. So the current structure of the ISPRS is that it's led by the council, whose current president is Dr. Christian Heidke. And there are 5 technical commissions, and one of the technical commissions is one of the organizers of this summer schools, which is Technical Commission 3, which focuses on remote sensing. So every technical commission has its own focus, and under each technical commission, there are different working groups. And recently, inter-commission working groups have also been introduced. So there's a lot of work going on in the technical commissions. The student consortium is currently under Technical Commission 5, and we have been collaborating with the officers of the commission. Some of the activities of ISPRS include research coordination, the organization of international scientific meetings, education and outreach, and bridging into the commercial world, and providing a platform to build the network of scientists and professionals. So I think I have shown you this statement during the opening ceremony. So I think this is one of the statements that I that I have the privilege of hearing from our current president, that the current president of ISPRS, that the youth is our future. So organizations like the ISPRS Student Consortium and ISPRS, we do carry an important responsibility in shaping the future leaders and experts in the profession. And now that we are in this situation, the current pandemic, we are leading this this transition to the new normal as digital natives. And furthermore, the organization realized its importance because many of our members struggled with their personal and professional issues that influence their future and careers in this time of uncertainty. So what is the ISPRS Student Consortium? So again, we are the official representation of the youth to ISPRS. Our primary goal is to link students, young researchers, and professionals worldwide interested in photogrammetry, remote sensing, and spatial information science, and to promote their scientific and professional developments. We also advocate for imaging and geospatial science for informed, scientifically valid, and technologically sound observations of Earth conditions and trends that lead to improved and effective decision-making. So we share the same mission and vision with the society. So these are from the most recent update in our statutes, these are the identified mission and vision. So the society and the consortium, again, share the same vision of supporting global research, development, and application of imaging and geospatial information to improve decision-making, sustain communities, and enhance quality of life around the world. Our main purpose is, again, to link the students, young researchers, and professionals worldwide, and to advocate for imaging and geospatial science for informed, scientifically valid, and sound observations of Earth conditions. So the current board members, we come from very different countries. So I came from the Philippines and currently studying in Japan. Our vice president or our co-chair is Charles Juko, who is from Uganda. We also have Charmaine Cruz, who is our editor-in-chief, coming from the Philippines as well, and Mustafa Suner, who's from Turkey, and finally Sona, our web administrator, is from Azerbaijan. So one of the main publication of the ISPRS Student Consortium is the newsletter, which we call Spectrum, because we do believe that it's about time that we promote the fields of remote sensing, photogrammetry, and spatial information science to a broader audience. That's why we named it Spectrum. We would like to cover the different applications in these fields. So the newsletter basically features past event reports, upcoming events, feature articles, interviews, and other information from the ISPRS SC community. This is published 4 times a year. We are open to contributions. So usually we try to get in touch with students, young professionals, or professors to provide content for the upcoming issues. So we have published special issues, and 2 of them that you see in this slide is the Into the Details of the Society, which is a newsletter dedicated to providing information about the different technical commissions. And we also have the Women in Remote Sensing and Geospatial Information. So I think this issue is one of the most well-received issues of the Spectrum. I think overnight we received over 800 reads, and it features different women in the field, different women who has contributed significantly in our fields. So including Dr. Barbara Ryan and 3 of the women in ISPRS, Dr. Anjana Vyas, Dr. Lina Halanuva, and Dr. Margaret Madden. We also feature different organizations, including Ladies of Lancet and Soapbox Science. So I think this has inspired many of our members, especially our female members, into pursuing further their scientific interests in remote sensing and geospatial information. During this pandemic, we also published an issue that features the roles of geospatial information during this global health crisis. We also circulated a short survey to our members to understand what they are going through and how the consortium could support them during this challenging time. And it was followed by a special issue in 3D GIS, which I think could also be very useful to many of our attendees today, because it covers a lot of technology and state-of-the-art art methodologies in smart cities. And it was again followed by another very interesting issue on the applications of synthetic aperture radar. And we had great contributions, including contributions from the Sisters of SAR and other organizations. So now, the second activity of the ISPRS Student Consortium are the summer schools. So before we organize in-person summer schools, and usually we have 4 summer schools organized in different parts of the world every year. The last summer schools that we organized in person were in Uganda, in Poland, in South Korea, and in Brazil. And overall, during this term, from 2016 to 2019, we have organized a total of 12 summer schools. So this is the places where it has been organized. And during this pandemic, many of our local organizers have also stepped up, including the organizers from Brazil, who converted their summer school to a virtual event, as well as the summer school on Smart City. So I think it was a milestone for the Student Consortium to host its very first virtual summer school late in 2020, which was led by the IEEE GRSS Brazil chapter, and also in partnership with the IEEE GRSS Young Professionals. So here they featured different lecturers from different international organizations who delivered talks in machine learning, upcoming satellite missions, and the current trends in remote sensing and geospatial information. So the summer school delivered lectures on a weekly basis, and I think one of the lectures received over 2,000 views in our YouTube channel in just over a week. So I think these virtual summer schools have been supporting a lot of students and young professionals during this time. So prior to having all these virtual events, the Student Consortium has also launched a webinar series way back in 2018. Our very first lecture was on Google Earth Engine, which was delivered by Nicholas Clinton from Google Earth Outreach. And in 2020, we hosted 2 more webinars. One was given by Dr. Konrad Schindler, who was a recent recipient of the prestigious ISPRS Award, Frederick Doyle Award. And he gave us a lecture on deep learning for photogrammetric analysis and remote sensing. And it was followed by another very interesting lecture by Dr. Deves Tuya on how to use UAVs together with field surveys in supporting wildlife conservation. So when this global health crisis happened, the ISPRS Student Consortium also initiated the virtual rooms. So this was actually an idea that we developed in order to keep our members connected and to also provide them a platform of feeling less isolated, and to also give them this avenue where they could meet people and also have the scientific exchanges, as well as to find people who could give them advice during this difficult time. So this virtual rooms featured 5 different rooms. The first one is the Wisdom of the White Elephants. The second one was the Writer's Block, and then third one is In Memory of Schrodinger's Cat, and the fourth one is Bring Your Own Sunshine, and the final one is the ISPRS SC Superfan. So 3 of these rooms were open rooms where our audience are free to meet and discuss with each other, while the Wisdom of the White Elephants and the ISPRS SC Super Friends featured guests from ISPRS and from other international organizations. So during the virtual rooms, we have the opportunity to present the different international organizations in remote sensing and geospatial information, including the Group on Earth Observations, UNOSAT, and the space agencies from Azerbaijan, and the Space Applications Project from the Philippines called the Microsatellite Program. And we also had the opportunity to have Dr. Joseph Kursky and Dr. Lorraine Tai from ESRI to present the different resources available for students, and also the Women in Geospatial Plus, which also provided a lecture on inclusivity and diversity in our field, and also a short discussion with one of the student advisors from TCD Dublin. So this virtual rooms, it provided us an opportunity to actually collaborate with the ISPRS White Elephant Club. So for those of you who do not know about the White Elephant Club, this is the ad hoc committee of ISPRS that is primarily focused on knowledge transfer, and this group is comprised of some of the most prominent figures in ISPRS, and I think you have already met one of them, Dr. Orhan Altan, who gave the first lecture during this virtual summer school. So during this, during our run of the virtual rooms, they provided many interesting lectures in supporting the students in doing their research and also coping with this pandemic. We also hosted one Q&A session where they could give advice to students and young professionals. We also had the great opportunity of hosting the celebration of Dr. Gottfried Konechny's birthday through the virtual rooms and the branding of the Wisdom of the White Elephants. And I think this is truly inspirational for many of our members because we have seen how the life of Dr. Konechny has contributed to the fields of photogrammetry and remote sensing, as well as how he was able to build this amazing relationships and collaborations with people from all over the world, and how he was able to manage to balance all of these things while and how his family values his contributions and the time that he has for them. And last year, we also had the great opportunity to collaborate with more organizations in remote sensing. We started the virtual monthly GeoMixer, which is more of a social event where we gather remote sensing and geospatial information enthusiasts, and we host four breakout rooms during the run, and we give them space and time to get to know each other, discuss their research interests, and to just simply connect with each other. And during the last ISPRS Congress, we also hosted a GeoMixer. So it was attended by by many ISPRS experts, including the ISPRS president. And this event is also in partnership with the Ladies of Landsat, the Sisters of SAR, the Asian Association on Remote Sensing, and two organizations from IEEE GRSS, which is the Inspire, Develop, Empower, and Advance program, and also the Mato Grosso do Sul student chapter, again, the ISPRS White Elephant Club, and the ASPRS Student Advisory Council. So last ISPRS Congress, in the last two virtual editions, we also hosted the Youth Forum track. So typically in the Congress, we have the Youth Forum track where we host different technical sessions, a panel discussion or a forum, and other student-specific activities. But during the last two virtual editions of the Congress, we mainly hosted the technical sessions in partnership with Technical Commission 5. So this provided an opportunity for some of our members to present their research and to also publish in the ISPRS annals and archives. More recently, in the ISPRS Congress, this year's edition, we were able to organize this very interesting forum entitled Towards Transformational Change, the Potential Contributions of ISPRS and the Role of the Youth in Sustainable Development, where we introduced this publication from the United Nations Environment Program called Global Environment Outlook 6 for Youth, which presents different kinds of information related to the current state of the planet, the youth's vision of the future, as well as how we can bring transformational change and shift to greener careers. In this forum, we invited different speakers with a focus on remote sensing and geospatial information to discuss on how ISPRS can further contribute in sustainable development, as well as the possible roles of the youth in bringing transformational change. So I think this was a very important event for the student consortium because we are able to discuss relevant issues, global issues, as well as identify places where we could have more contributions or where we could increase our impact. And during this pandemic, we also developed the leadership and service mentoring program. So this program aims to train the future leaders of the ISPRS SC. So we open this program to individuals who are interested to be part of the board of directors of the ISPRS Student Consortium. So in this program, we mainly involve the mentees, the mentees in the actual activities of the ISPRS Student Consortium. And in this virtual summer school, I am actually joined by two of the mentees, Sunny and Saicharan, who has been helping the consortium host this summer school. And at the same time, we also try to train them and teach them the different responsibilities in the student consortium. So at the end of this mentorship program, we would like to see them learn how the activities are implemented in the student consortium and to at least pass on the knowledge on how to lead an international organization. And hopefully they could also gain a few skills, not only in terms of leadership, but also in terms of building relationships and connections with different organizations and different individuals. So we now go to this the ISPRS SC YouTube channel. So we also took this opportunity during this pandemic to build our archives of different learning resources. So one of them is this YouTube channel where you could find the previous virtual rooms, the previous webinar series, the previous summer schools, and now we are also hosting the ISPRS virtual keynote series in this channel, and also the state-of-the-art webinar series from Technical Commission 4. So I'm not sure if everyone has access to YouTube channel, but this is where we keep some of the previous videos, learning resources for our audience. So I think this has gained a lot of attention in the last few months because many of our videos are approaching 1,000 views, and I think since this channel it's not really around for long. It's not around for a long time. I think having this number of views is quite an achievement for us. So I hope that for some of our participants, you will find some of the previous lectures useful for the research that you are doing. We also try to make some of the slides or presentations available through the ISPRS Student Consortium website. So you will find the presentations from the webinar series available there. And some of the presentations from the virtual rooms are also available in our website. So aside from this, the student consortium. So from last year, I participated in a panel discussion together with Dr. Christian Heipke, the president of ISPRS, and Dr. Paulo Gamba, the president of IEEE GRSS, in discussing the roles of international academic societies during this during this pandemic. So I think it was a very fruitful discussion because during this time we need to support our communities further and to help build resilience in the scientific community. And finally, the Student Consortium has also been continuing to collaborate and build long-term partnerships with the organizers of the summer school. So from the Brazil Summer School, we continued our partnership in their in the Remote Sensing Symposium for Defense. That the title is actually in Portuguese, but that's the English translation. And we have collaborated with them in 2020. And from last year's virtual summer school, they also hosted their very first English session in the symposium, which featured different experts, various experts who provided advice in publishing and in scientific writing. And now we also continue to collaborate with more local organizers, such as the organizers from the Beijing University of Civil Engineering and Architecture, as well as Technical Commission 3, in further organizing the summer schools. So for everyone who would like to learn more about the activities of the Student Consortium, we have published 2 papers in the ISPRS Annals from the two virtual congresses, and you can read more about what we have done in the past 4 to 5 years. So these 2 papers will give you an idea on what we have done so far and how we have been trying to contribute further in the mission and vision of ISPRS. And also you will see how many activities we have been conducting in the past 4 years. And I would also like to take this opportunity to invite everyone to become an individual member of the ISPRS Student Consortium. So we have an individual membership registration in our website, and you can follow this link or scan this QR code so you can go to the registration page. We also have different social media accounts from Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So you could join these groups. And currently, this is the distribution of our members, individual members who have registered. We have 413 members from 67 countries. And to end this lecture, I just would like to share this conclusion that we had from the previous paper that we submitted to the Congress. So despite the challenges and adjustments, the ISPRS continued to grow during this challenging time, and we sustained our contributions to the ISPRS in the scientific community. So we learned how to adapt to change, to lead the transition to digital knowledge exchange, to nurture partnerships and collaborations, and build resilience as a scientific community. And the consortium hopes that we will continue to move forward and continue contributing for the advancements and progress in ISPRS. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you learned something in this presentation. And if you have any questions, how to engage or get involved in the ISPRS Student Consortium, please do let me know. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for Dr. Shirley's sharing about the ISPRS and the students' console. Yeah, I think some students may have some questions, want to communicate with Dr. Shirley. I think if you have any question, please put down your question on the Q&A part. Okay. Yeah, I think some personnel put down the website. Yeah, I think it's important information. Yeah.
Yes. I think so. Don't be shy. You can ask me any questions.
Oh.
Okay, Mr. Yang.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the Cheryl's lecture. And the next lecture will be held by Dr. Chen. It will be started at 9 o'clock. Yeah, please be here on time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Could you hear me?
Yes, quite clear.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. I think this is the final lecture of our Smart City International Summer School, and it is our honor to invite Professor Tao Chen to give us the final lecture. At the beginning, I will make some brief introduction for Dr. Tao Chen. Professor Tao Chen is the Vice Dean of International Development Research Institute and the Dean of the School of International Education. She obtained her PhD degree from Harbin Institute of Technology. She worked as a visiting scholar at the Hampton Research Center at Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University, USA. Her research interest includes water conservation, stormwater low-impact development, wastewater treatment. Okay, her topic is the policy to support the foreign students studying in Beijing. Thank you. And Professor Chen, next is your time.
Thanks, Mr. Huang. Okay.
You're welcome.
Dear students, yes. Dear students, this is the last lecture of this summer school. It could be quite relaxed compared with the previous academic lectures, and this is mainly for international students. If you are looking to study in China or find programs and initiatives that can assist your move on this lecture, I hope you could find your course opportunities and a scholarship to study in China and BUCA. Okay, there's 5 parts. First, about studying in China. The education of international students in China began in 1950 after the founding of the People's Republic of China. Czechoslovakia, Poland, and Romania exchanged students with China to learn each other's language, history, and other subjects. At that time, the education of international students mainly served political needs. After China's accession to the World Trade Organization in December 2001, the Chinese government successively formulated a series of documents related to international education, strongly promoted the construction of multilateral exchanges and cooperation in education. You can see from the diagram, according to data from the Ministry of Education, it can find the number of international students, the number of academic international students, and the number of international students with scholarship in China has kept increasing since 2002. There is an exception in 2003, and maybe in the last 2 years without public data. We all know that there was severe acute respiratory syndrome, abbreviated as SARS, in 2003, and coronavirus disease since 2019. Apart from the epidemic, there is nothing to stop the growth trend to study in China. The number of international students in China has increased from 85,826 in 2002 to 492,185 in 2018. Among them, there were 258,122 degree students, accounting for 52.44%. 85,026 22 graduate students, accounting for 19.28%. With the increasing number of international students coming to China to study, China has become the largest destination for overseas study in Asia. According to the data released by the Ministry of Education, the top majors among foreign students in China used to be liberal arts such as Chinese language, humanities, and social science, and traditional Chinese medicine. Few students choose science and engineering at that time. In 2010, the Ministry of Education released a plan for studying in China at the National Working Conference on International Students Studying in China. In accordance with the principle of expanding skill, optimizing structure, standardizing administration, and ensuring quality. The plan coordinated the skill structure and quality, promoted the sustainable development of education for international students, and helped to build China's higher education brand. As a result, in recent years, the supply distribution became more and more reasonable. The number of students studying liberal arts still ranked first in 2017, accounting for 48.45%, less than half, while the number of students studying engineering, management, science, art, and agriculture increased significantly with a year-on-year growth of more than 20%. Among the degree students, the subjects with a larger number of students were Western medicine, engineering, economics, and management. In turn, the Chinese language major jumped from the second place in 2012 to the fifth place in 2016. In September 2013, President Xi Jinping delivered an important speech at the first anniversary of the United Nations Secretary General's Global Education First Initiative, stating that China will firmly implement the strategy of rejuvenating the country through science and education. It will always give priority to education and constantly expand investment. China will strengthen educational exchange with other countries in the world, expand opening up of education, actively support the development of educational undertakings in developing countries, and work with people of all countries to push mankind towards a better tomorrow. Then in September and October 2013, during his visit to Central Asian and Southeast Asian countries, Chinese President Xi Jinping proposed the initiative of jointly building the Silk Road economic belt and the 21st century maritime Silk Road, hereinafter referred as the Belt and Road. Education plays a fundamental and leading role in promoting the Belt and Road Initiative. In July 2016, the Ministry of Education launched the campaign to promote education while jointly advancing the Belt and Road Initiative and studied the plan of promoting overseas study along the Silk Road. The Silk Road Chinese Government Scholarship was established to train industrial leaders and skilled personnel for countries along the road. In the following 5 years, 10,000 new students from the countries along Belt Road route would be enrolled each year to study and to be trained in China. This was to support the training of the industrial leaders and highly skilled talents for the countries along Belt Road route. By 2020, China has signed agreements on the mutual recognition of qualifications in academic degrees with 54 countries and regions. 24 of these countries participated in Belt and Road Initiative, including 8 countries in Central and Eastern Europe, Poland, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, Czech Republic. 5 countries in Southeast Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia. 5 countries in Central Asia, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Armenia. 3 countries of the Commonwealth but independent states, Russia, Ukraine, Belarus. 1 country in South Asia, Sri Lanka, 1 country in East Asia, Mongolia, and 1 country in North Africa, Egypt. I think some of you may come from these countries. And besides the list, we still have some recognition procedures for diploma in other countries. According to data released by Ministry of Education, in recent years, international students studying in China are originally from a relatively fixed list of countries. In 2018, Korea, Thailand, Pakistan, India, and the United States, Russia, Indonesia, Laos, Japan, Kazakhstan were on the top 10 list. In recent years, with the implementation of the Belt and Road Initiative, the growth of international students from many South countries has slowed down, and number of students from countries along the Belt and Road has increased significantly. Among international students of different types in 2017, students from the Belt and Road countries totaled 317,200, accounting for 64.85%, a growth of 11.58% higher than the average growth rate of the world. In 2018, there were 63,041 Chinese government scholarship students, accounting for 12.81% of the total number of international students studying in China. In addition to the Chinese government scholarships, the Silk Road Chinese Government Scholarship Program has established to provide an additional total of no less than 3,000 scholarships to countries along the Belt Road route each year. Another part of Silk Road Study Abroad Promotion Plan was about optimizing the study regulations for studying in China, building a complete policy chain for studying in China, and introducing new policy documents such as regulations for the recruitment and the cultivation of international students in universities. China has established 13 special scholarships for students from Mongolia, Tanzania, Egypt, Indonesia, and some other countries. China-US, China-Europe, China-Russia Cultural Exchange Scholarship, as well as local government scholarships, university scholarships, and grants. The multi-level scholarship system has constantly made studying in China more attractive, leading it to a higher level with better quality. In addition, self-financed students remain the majority of foreign students in China, accounting for 87.19% of the total in 2018. In 2018, before this epidemic, nearly 500,000 international students from almost 200 countries and regions studying over 1,000 Chinese institutions of higher learning in 31 provinces, autonomous regions, and municipalities. Among them, 85,022 are graduates, including 25,618 doctoral students and 59,444 master students. Most choose to study. Beijing ranked the first cities. As a university in Beijing, Beijing University of Civil Engineering and Architecture may be one of your choices. You watched a short video about Beijing BUC at the beginning of the summer school. Here's a further explanation. Beijing University of Civil Engineering and Architecture was formerly known as Capital Primary Industrial School, established by the Qing Dynasty government in 1907. It is one of the first batch of undergraduate degree granting institutions and started granting graduate degrees since 1980s. It was approved to conduct doctoral since 2012, created Center for Postdoctoral Studies in 2014, and became doctoral degree granting institutions in 2018. As a multi-campus university, Beijing BUCA now has two campuses, Xichun and Daxing campus. The Graduate School Advanced Innovation Center, University Science and Technology Park, the School of Architecture are located in Xichun campus. It is just outside the Sankey Ring Road in downtown Beijing, very convenient to travel around and go shopping. Most undergraduate schools, library gyms are located in Daxing campus. You could find a combination of ancient and modern architecture with unique style. Most important, it acquired campus for thinking, study, and workout. It has over 1,100 faculty and staff and more than 11,000 enrolled students. BUCA has 11 schools. They are School of Architecture and Urban Planning, School of Civil and Transportation Engineering, School of Environment and Energy Engineering, School of Electrical and Information Engineering, School of Urban Economics and Management, School of Geomatics and Urban Spatial Informatics, School of Mechanical, Electronics and Vehicle Engineering, School of Science, School of International Education, School of Marxism, School of Humanity. BUC offers 29 undergraduate programs, 14 master's degree programs, and 2 doctoral degree programs to postdoctoral research session for architecture and civil engineering studies. The master degree program includes architectural heritage conservation. This is a cross-discipline degree. Urban and rural planning, landscape architecture, design, civil engineering, transportation engineering, environmental science and engineering, surveying and mapping, control science and engineering, mechanical engineering, management science and engineering, business administration, mathematics, Marxist theory, and some other programs. BUC now boasts 26 ministerial and provincial level laboratories. One of them is the Beijing Advanced Innovation Center for Future Urban Design. Discipline is distinguished strengths in such featured specialities as architectural heritage protection, urban planning and architectural design, urban transport infrastructure and underground engineering, smart city, modern urban surveying and mapping, solid waste recycling technology, green building and energy saving technology, smart construction and smart city, and so on. To better serve China's national strategies and Beijing function as center for international exchanges, BUC has set out the Belt and Road International Urban Innovation Center and several international innovation cooperative platforms, working in partnership with 97 universities and research institutes across 43 countries and regions for pragmatic and academic exchanges and joint research. In October 2017, the university proposed the initiative of establishing the BRAC, Belt and Road Architecture University International Consortium, in order to constantly deepen the initiative to promote infrastructure construction, international talent training, collaborative innovation, science and technology, and cultural exchange along the Belt and Road. Currently, 64 schools from 27 countries joined the alliance. Nearly 1,000 Chinese and international students have benefited from Sino-Foreign corporate enrollment programs for international students. The school insists on open policies and carries out extensive international educational exchange and cooperative. We have several Sino-Foreign joint training programs. We also host summer school every year since 2016. This is our 5th summer school. Collaborated with SPRS. It's a pity that due to the epidemic, you couldn't come to Beijing to visit scenic spot and historical site, which should be an important part of the summer school. Hope next summer we keep it offline. As for our programs, we have 6 English taught graduate programs, 21 Chinese taught undergraduate programs, and 30 Chinese taught graduate programs in 2021. Here are some of the Here are some of our programs. We have 3-year Master of Architecture civil engineering, environmental engineering, control science, and English as control science and engineering, mechanical engineering, surveying and mapping science and technology. These are English taught postgraduate programs. We also have some Chinese 30 Chinese taught PhD graduate programs provided by different schools. For example, architecture, urban rural planning, landscape architecture, design, civil engineering, in different aspects such as geotechnical engineering, structural engineering, bridge and tunnel engineering, road, railways construction, transportation planning and management, environmental science and engineering, architecture, building technology, sales, preservation of historic buildings, heating, municipal engineering, heating, gas supply, ventilation, and air conditioning works. Control science and engineering, management science and engineering, business administration, social work. Geodesy and surveying, engineering, photogrammetry and remote sensing, cartography and geographic information engineering provided by the School of Geomatics and Urban Spatial Information, mechanical engineering, carrier utilization engineering, applied mathematics, operation research, and cybernetics. Here are some of the graduate supervisors. You can match your interest with their research area to determine your major choices. These are from a School of Architecture, Professor Mu Jun. His research area is about green building, adult building, sustainable development, villages and towns. Professor Li Chunqing, architecture, design, education, architectural design and its theory, historical city and architectural heritage protection. Vice President Li Yu, her research associate Professor Li Yu, her research area is urban design, health-oriented architecture. Lecturer Meng Fan Lei, his research area is architectural design theory, urban renewal, protection and reuse of industrial heritage. These are some professors from School of Civil Engineering. Professor Zhang Ling, also the president of a university. His research area is industrialized fabricated high-rise steel structure system and modern large-span pre-stressed steel structure system. Professor Han Miao, also head of the School of Civil Engineering, research area vulnerability analysis of building structure, seismic performance of net structural components. Professor Zhang Yanxia, research area innovation and optimization design modern steel structure system. Professor Deng Yang, research area structural health monitoring, steel bridge, fatigue analysis theory, architectural heritage protection. Professor Ji Jie, structure and material of subgrade and pavement, application for solid waste. Professor Jiao Chiyu, bridge, seismic evaluation and seismic reinforcement, bridge inspection and evaluation, maintenance and protection technology of ancient bridges. Professor Dong Jun, beam tunnel engineering and structural engineering. Professor Liao Weizhang, engineering, structure safety and protection, beam technology, research and application. These are professors from School of Environmental and Energy. Professor Chen Hongbin, his research area is comprehensive utilization of solar energy, nanophase change fluid. Professor Cao Xiuqing, waste treatment, sludge and solid waste treatment, environmental system simulation and optimization. Associate Professor Zhou Xiaoping, his research is big data mining and machine learning, building information modeling. He's from the School of Electric. Associate Professor Zhang Yu, big data, artificial intelligence, smart cities, smart buildings, smart homes. Professor Zhou Huixin, building robots, building intelligent equipment, linear motors, and precision motor control. Professor Yang Jianwei, vehicle system failure modeling and safety analysis, monitoring technology, and default diagnosis. Professor Wang Yanxue, mechanical system dynamics modeling analysis, dynamic signal processing, and feature extraction. Professor Shan Xiaowei, associate professor, I think you heard her lecture yesterday. Her research areas is robotic MEMS system design, mechanical system dynamics and control. These are just the part of some of our over 200 graduate supervisors. Here are some Chinese taught undergraduate programs. I won't read them one by one. If you are interested, you can check it from our website. I will provide later. Last year, 18 international students graduated from BUCA. In this summer, 11 international students graduated from BUCA, including a PhD students, 7 master students, and 3 undergraduates coming from 9 countries. Among them, Ibrahim Mohammed Sultan from Libya is the first international PhD student graduate from BUCA. The first part about the policy guide for international students studying and living in Beijing. As for the tuition fee, the most expensive is English taught PhD. It is 40,000 Chinese yuan per year. The English taught master is 30,000 Chinese yuan per year. The Chinese taught PhD 30,000 per year. Chinese taught masters 25,000 per year, and for master of bachelor administration and the master of engineering management is 30,000 Chinese yuan per year, and Chinese taught bachelors, other Chinese taught bachelors, 20,000 Chinese yuan per year. They are quite cheap compared with those to study in America and Europe universities. As for the study expenses, including accommodation, we provided twin bedroom for 60 Chinese yuan per day per bed, travel bedroom 40 yuan per day per bed, and the living cost is around 1,000 and 1,050 per month, estimated based on personal consumption level. And you should buy medical insurance according to regulation Chinese Ministry of Education, cost 800 Chinese yuan per year, and there is visa fees every time. We also provide a scholarship for the students. There are the following 4 types of scholarships. Different types of scholarship will not be awarded to the same person at the same time. Except for the freshman scholarship and English taught master, the other 3 scholarships will be reviewed once a year from second year of enrollment, and eligible students can apply directly. Freshman scholarship for English taught master to subsidize our tuition fees for the first academic year. First class scholarship to subsidize all tuition fees for 1 academic year. Second class scholarship to subsidize half of the tuition fees for 1 academic year. Special contribution scholarships, it is used to reward international students who have made outstanding achievement in academic, sports, art, cultural exchange, and public welfare activities. The amount of subsidy does not exceed 5,000 Chinese yuan per person per academic year. Here are the list of some students who has been awarded the scholarship. And you could also find some information about Chinese scholarship, a government scholarship from the website listed here. During your stay in BUCA, you will exercise our research in various labs. We will arrange various activities and enrich space-time and experience Chinese culture. Here is some photos of our previous students. You will experience Chinese opera, Tai Chi, the tea ceremony, and some various activities. As for the qualifications and application procedures, you could check from our website. Briefly, the applicant should be non-Chinese citizens who are in good health and hold a valid ordinary foreign passport. There are some limitations for different degrees. And applicants for bachelor's degree shall be high school graduates or have high school diploma. For master's degree shall have obtained bachelor's degree or equivalent. For PhD shall have obtained master's degree or equivalent. Applicants for master's degree for PhD in architecture, urban and rural planning, landscape architecture or design should have bachelor's or master's degree in architecture, urban and rural planning, landscape architecture or design. Applicants for master's degree or PhD in control science and engineering and mechanical engineering should have bachelor's degree in computer science, automation, electronics or electrical related. The timeline each year is around May, June, the application year, and the application website is http apply.buca.cookers.cn. It should provide documents including application form international students, diploma or pre-graduate certificate, academic transcript, English proficiency certificate. This is for English TOEFL program only. Chinese proficiency certificate. This is only for Chinese TOEFL program. Study research plan only for postgraduates. 2 letters recommendation only for postgraduates. Scan copy valid regular passport and your curriculum. Foreign physical examination form and those criminal certificates, other supplementary materials. The admission takes 3 procedures. First, verification, qualification, then interview assessment. Finally, admission. You will check the admissions result from website of our International Department of International Department Research Institute, Development Research Institute of BUCA, June, July, and August. Admission letters and with application forms for study in China will be sent out accordance with the immigration policies. This year, due to the epidemic, we still some vacancies for graduate and undergraduate program. If you are interested, you could still contact us to apply now. Finally, hope you could find courses you plan to take and as curriculum activities you want to pursue in BUCA. Please contact us by the website or send us email to liuxuexing@buca.edu.cn. That's all for today's lecture. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me.
Okay, thank you very much for Professor Tao Chen's detailed introduction about how to study in Beijing, in China, even in BUCEA. I think foreign students might be interested in some programs, some activities. Yeah, I have noticed some students would like to raise some questions about the lecture. Yeah, I think if you are interested in this program, in this lecture, you can put down your question on the Q&A session board. Okay, Yeah, I noticed Mr. Jingbo,
Continue.
yeah, have put down the English website. If you want to know much about BUCA, please go into. Okay.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
It looks like no questions
Yeah.
yet. Oh, one question. Okay. Here's one question from Sarah. I'm afraid I can't spell her name. I'm afraid I can't correctly. So thanks, Sarah. You said you are interested in PhD, architecture and design. So your question is, all lectures held in English. We have, yes, that's a good question. We have two kind of PhD programs. As I have told April, our excellent graduates this year, he was taught in Chinese. Because he has stayed in China for 9 years and got his master's and also PhD in Chinese. So he just learned together with the Chinese students. And if you are interested in PhD, we will have also English lectures for PhD students. But each year we need at least 3 students to start a lecture. But we will give our courses as we will how to say we will make a unique program for you if you are interested to study in English. Presently, we have only one PhD student taught in English. His major is architecture heritage from Sri Lanka. You could contact my email for further information. One question. Okay, you're welcome. One question about scholarship program in China. Yes, as I've told, the Chinese government provided Chinese government scholarship. I have provided website during my presentation. I will share that page. But unfortunately, my classmate, our university is not among the list of Chinese government program, but we have Beijing local scholarship for international students.
Yeah, I noticed one student said she would like to or he would like to apply for a scholarship program in China. Yeah, I think you can go into the website of our English website of BUCA to get in some detailed information, and we will put down the public email about our international education. And Jinbo, could you please put down the our public email on the box on the board? Yeah, I think you can contact us at any time. Yes, we will reply you in time.
I put a website for applying Chinese government scholarship. Let's Campus China. It's a pity, but our university, I was told, was not in the list, but we provided local Beijing local international scholarship. Please, I'd like to know if Nigeria has ever been on the list of the countries whose degrees and qualifications have been mutually recognized by China. Yes, I checked, and I found the yes anonymous. Presently, as I checked, it was not in the list. But I was told that if you are not if we are not in the list, it doesn't mean you don't acknowledge our degrees or qualifications, such as we don't have such mutually recognitions with the United States, but many Chinese students go abroad, study there, and many American students come here. It only means that it's not very convenient. You just take your diploma, and you could we could check our diploma, our electrical registration online, but it may be a little complicated to take some procedures, but it doesn't mean we don't acknowledge our diplomas. Is that your question? Yes, as I told, due to the epidemic, many students can't come here, so they will have extended our application date. There is still vacancies for this year. You could still apply and contact Mr. Huang Xin as Ms. Liu Lan and to apply this year's program.
Okay, no problem. Hello, Liu Lan. Yeah, I think you can introduce something. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. First of all, thank you for everyone come to the wonderful final lecture today about our university. And actually, I think the outstanding of the BUCA international program is about all international students have different opportunities, can study together and experience the Beijing culture, Chinese culture at the BUCA. And especially we have a really beautiful campus as shown and explained by Dr. Chen Tao. So as we mentioned before, we do have a great policy to welcome all international students come all around the world. So if you have any questions, I'm going to share our school emails, and you are free and you're welcome to send the email to us. And Mr. Jinbo just share the email. Thank you, Mr. Jinbo.
Okay. Thank you for Mr. Liu's introduction. Any question? Okay, I think it is the end of this lecture. And thanks again for Dr. Chen Tao's detailed and brilliant introduction. Thanks again. And last, I want to remind every students to participate in tomorrow's ending ceremony. Yeah, you know, I think some students, we find 4 students from 4 different countries and universities will share their idea and feeling about this summer school at the ending ceremony. At the same time, some professors will share their opinion again. So I think it's amazing and wonderful ending ceremony. Please don't forget to participate in at 3 p.m. Beijing time. Okay, see you everyone tomorrow and have a good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We have summer school every year. Hope to see you next year. Okay, bye.
Thank you everyone. See you tomorrow.